Aftermath. The UNSC was still recovering from their battle with the Banished. All UNSC personnel were trying to find some rest. Jaune's orders. The new Zeta Halo was being overseen by the Infinity. Anders was being briefed by the crew of the Spirit of Fire. Valley. Beacon. Ashbin's office. Ashbin, do you take breaks, Mr. 117? Jaune, I believe you should refer to me as Arc again since Mom already dumped my dipweed of a father. Ashbin, took you a while to accept that. Jaune, it takes time to get over things. Sir. That's character development should be not instantly like noodles. Jaune, I already reconciled with them. They were really unaware of that bastard's decisions. Besides, I learned in war never to take things personally. Ashbin, well, that broadcast of the war was truly enlightening on what you have fought against. Jaune, what broadcast? Then a familiar ghost reappeared to them. Librarian, it was I that revealed the course of the battle, for people to see that they have to band together to achieve great things. Jaune, isn't that interfering with the natural order? Librarian, no, your people have been sabotaged and delayed long enough for you to finally reach your peak of evolution. As I said before, I will say it again, you and your fellow Spartans are the culmination of millennia of preparation. Now is the time to correct the mistakes of the past. Jaune, you mean the Forerunner A.is? Librarian, indeed, they must be dealt with before they even become a threat. Headmaster Ashbin, you must summon the maidens and gather the relics to have them bring out the brothers, and finally I will deal with them. Ashbin, if that's Remnant's best interest. Jaune, alright, I'll join you at the location you have foretold. Let this sad take end once and for all. After Ashbin called and organized the maidens. Now they make their way to the beginning. The librarian was already there as Jaune arrived shortly thereafter. Jaune, so this is the so-called Dominion of Light? I'm not impressed. Librarian, inheritor, it seems your service to the cosmos is bearing its end. Jaune, well, that's part of the hero gig. Part of the journey is the end. And I'm oddly fine with that. Then a group of people entered the domain. Ashbin, I never thought I would get to see this place at all. Raven was in cuffs as she was escorted by her old team. Raven made eye contact with her former enemy as he held his helmet in his arm. Her eyes widened that a young boy defeated her. Raven, you're the Spartan? Jaune, well, good to see you too. Summer, hi Jaune, that war was sure crazy. Ty, it looked like a cub stomped him. Crow was drinking once again. Jaune looks to the other visitors. Amber was beside Glinda as an old lady was escorted by Atlassian guards. Ashbin, bring them out. Crow pulled out a lamp. Summer pulled out a staff. Ty pulled out a sword. And Ashbin pulled out a crown. Librarian, I will now extract these malicious intrusions. She waved her arms as the domain shakes slightly as wisps of light came out of the 4 relics, and then slowly the light takes form. As 2 bodies materializes. Brother of light, this is Remnant? Brother of darkness, Ozma? As he looks to the people. Bull, I see you people are still divided. And like our deal, he was cut off. Jaune, silence. The 2 beings looked at the Spartan in question. BOD, a human? In combat skin? Bull, no, he's only half human and half faunus. What an interesting combination. As he thinks of experimenting on him. Ashbin, brother gods. Bull, silence Ozma, you have failed our deal. The huntsmen and maidens take their stances. The brothers tried to adopt their own stance until they were both frozen.
Bull, what is going on? BOD, what is this?
Librarian, I am disappointed in both of you. Bull, librarian.
BOD, what is she doing here?
I thought all the halo rings fired and wiped clean all life for millennia? Librarian, I preserved my will in the vaults of time for the reclaimers to fix our mistakes. But you 2 went above your station as caretakers of this world. To gods? You bring shame to the name Forerunner. The inheritor isn't always be better than you both. She waves her hands as the 2 brothers began floating. Librarian, you forget who made you both. As the 2 looked in terror as they saw pieces of them just scatter into motes of light and dark.
GOL, you can't do this. God, we had everything under control.
Librarian, no you don't even. I was not aware with the betrayal even in my own life. GOL, the didact? Librarian, gone. Killed by the inheritor. As she looks at Jaune. Librarian, I wasn't able to say thank you for stopping him. Jaune just nods. Librarian, now ends the time of the 2A.is. You will burden these people no more.
A.is and no.
As the 2 finally fades from sight. Ashbin, is it over? Is Remnant safe? Librarian, yes. And to rectify 2 more mistakes. She waves her hand as a Ashbin glows.
Ashbin?
Then the light stopped as Ashbin inspects himself.
Ashbin, what did you do?
Librarian, I have removed the burden placed upon you by those brothers and also the other one. Ashbin, you mean? Librarian, the 2 of you can live your life one last time. Ashbin bows on his knees to her. Ashbin, thank you, thank you, thank you. Librarian, rise, for I am no god, just a caretaker for the universe. Now inheritor, I believe the other will leave her schemes behind. Without the influence of those 2, she will be free from her hatred. The matter now lies with the remainder of her followers. Jaune, I believe she was already lacking in followers now since we have already dealt with most of them. Librarian, indeed. What happens from now on is up to you. Please do better than we did. Jaune, I promise, and if you truly know me. Librarian, you keep them. Farewell. She fades from the world. Crow, wow, just wow. Summer, I am so gonna need a more detailed rundown on all that happened. Ty, I believe there's a recording Ashbin keeps since the breach. Let's watch it like a movie back home. Jaune, Raven, I release you to the custody of the Xiaolong family. Ty, so house arrest? Jaune, yes, could you handle her? Summer, there won't be a problem. As she sneaks a glare to Raven, who sweats and shrinks from her gaze. Jaune, well, this has been enlightening. Ashbin, I will look for her now. As for these, he hands the relics to Jaune. Then he drops them to the floor and proceeds to crush them one by one. Jaune, now to tie up some loose ends.